excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm Ben, calling every Russian epic coming.
I'm John. I work at Burger King and I got some problems with his bullshit.
I'm Cobra. It's funny that you both like really shitty movies.
She was at the yard sale yesterday. He was at the yard sale yesterday. He bought some stuff. She had a t-shirt on that said, "You hurt my eyes too."
Wow.
You're gonna leave that part in there.
Hello.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm John.
I'm TP.
I'm Cobra.
And,
I'm gonna wipe my ass with TP.
yeah. We're watching Madman from 1981.
Or two. I saw
I
the.
had
it was
82.
both, yeah.
I had 81 from IMDb, and then everything else was 82, I
82.
think.
Yeah. Always gotta trust the internet, you know that.
That's right. They can't make up what their mind was here.
This is my pick.
Have you seen this before?
I've seen it like once. I wanted
So have
I wanted to subject you to is that too many twos in a row?
No.
I wanted both of you to see the opening of this movie around the campfire and then the stunningly uncomfortable hot tub scene. in this
That
movie.
I will be awarding it one extra point for the hot tub scene for sure. It is so out of place, but it is.
The music
Different
is
movie.
the
It is.
music-
It belongs
movie.
in a completely different movie for
The
sure.
music is so out of place.
You're gonna have to play at least a minute
Oh,
skit of that song where you can imagine two
I
people
didn't-
twirling around in a fucking
I didn't-
jacuzzi.
I did not look up to see who sings that song. Did anybody else? No.
No.
It's so uncomfortable. It just goes on and on.
And at one point I yelled, because I was watching this on my phone with my headphones in, and I just yelled, "Just fuck her already! Fuck!"
We do get Galen Ross
She's the only
playing
notable character in this,
Alex.
notable actress in this
Wait, I
movie.
got her name.
Betsy.
Yeah, Betsy.
Not her main name, but she doesn't even go by Galen Ross in this movie.
She doesn't.
Alex Dubin is who she goes by in this movie.
Did she not want to be known?
I guess not.
4 years after Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah, she was Francine in Dawn of the Dead.
They did.
And she's only done 3 movies. I looked this up.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, this, and Creepshow.
But compared to her acting,
It's
like, she
awful.
deserved an Oscar for her Dawn of the Dead performance
yeah.
from this movie. Like,
This is terrible.
the accents in this movie are... It was filmed, I think, on Long Island.
I didn't even notice accents.
It's rough.
She has frog eyes too.
Yeah.
Look, her eyes are real far apart, and her one kind is like looking at you while it's looking at somebody
pulled up-
else on screen.
I pulled up pictures of all 3 of the women in this movie, and my wife and I tried to figure out which one was going to be the hottie who lived, and we couldn't because they're not attractive.
They couldn't decide either who the hottie was that was gonna live.
So is it, I mean, spoiler, is that why no one lives?
That must be.
Correct.
Yeah.
We open
This
up
is a retreat for gifted kids.
I don't even know. They have
Is
kids
it?
of all
Really?
ages at this, quote, camp in the middle of winter,
Wait,
mind you.
There are
These people
there are
look...
5 gifted kids. This is what I took from everything we saw in the movie. After it was all done, I assessed this. There were 5 gifted children because that's who Betsy says she has to watch when all the other camp kids are going. But Richie was also part of that group. So 6 total gifted kids with how many chaperones?
There are more chaperones than children.
There are more chaperones, but they're gifted, so maybe it's like a one-on-one kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just took it that these kids stayed on a few extra weeks at the camp. I mean, they do make it sound like this camp is full. But this is clearly in the middle of winter. These people looked cold the whole movie. They have winter coats on. It opens with campfire, which I love these types of openings, sitting around the campfire telling stories. But TP singing this song
It's
is...
a ghost story song, which is real weird.
Yeah.
But he's giving it everything.
I
He's
want to know if it's really him singing.
I don't know, because he
Because-
sing later in the movie? I think it is.
It
I think
might
I
be
read
it.
on the sound, on the soundtrack, that is him singing.
Because if it is, I sent him the other day Shawn Michaels' opening theme song. Can you plug that?
Oh,
I'm just a
yeah.
sexy boy.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
And he's like, it's not bad, but who's that guy singing? It's awful. I'm like, it's Shawn Michaels singing his own song.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
Shawn Michaels sings his theme song.
I'm pretty sure it's TP singing. I did read that.
I hope that's true.
That,
That's great.
So they're going the route of Last House on the Left. When
Well-
David Hess did the soundtrack.
so we
But
get
his was good.
Yeah, it was good.
the counselors, the kids, and then we get Max, who is the
Who
owner.
is Max?
I think he's the owner of the
He
camp.
is the owner of the camp.
Okay.
But
He's a fat mustache guy.
how great is that to tell these kids like such a horrifying ghost slasher story?
Yeah, and here's my question. How long has he had this camp there? Because that house has been there. This is the first time the Mad Mart's attacked, you think?
Richie called him out. None of the other kids were brave
Let me
enough to call
ask,
him out.
this house is obviously here, right?
This house is nowhere near where they were
Right,
sitting
that-
around.
It is because Richie throws a rock right through the
And it
window.
cuts to
from
just
the
a matte painting of
Yeah.
a... Oh my god.
It's,
But I'm just saying, like, if this guy's house is here, why is there a camp
Yeah.
right there?
Max, the owner, is
This
there's
is
this
irresponsible.
is Madman
Mars. They switched the name, like I said. That's what I read.
because
They wanted
he
to
killed his
name-
family.
They wanted to name the killer Cropsy, but then The Burning came out, and it said that they had to switch up all the characters.
Even if
in
his
the
name
story.
was Cropsy.
Madman Cropsy. I don't think it was called Madman. I don't know what it was going to be called, but
Was the Burning better than this?
Yes.
Oh my god, come on.
100% that good.
I didn't say it's a masterpiece. I just had fun watching it.
I picked my movie on. I've never seen it before, and it seemed to be okay.
See, you can tell somebody about the hot tub scene, but really, they
You have to
need
see
to
it.
experience
Yeah, that
it.
hot tub scene is just. We haven't even got there.
So after he tells the story and they throw the rock, they're all going back to camp, and Richie disappears. And he's
He's gonna be
disappeared
gone
for the
for a
whole
while.
movie.
Yeah,
He's gonna be gone for a while.
yeah, he'll leave for 25.
Every now and then he
Minutes at
pops
a
up and he
time.
goes, "Where am I? What's going on?"
And then he goes in that house.
He's gone
and then
again,
he's out of the
yeah.
house, and then he's in the house.
We also get TP.
I have him as a Fred Savage discount, Richie.
What?
Fred Savage discount. He's got a little Fred Savage look
He
to him.
does, doesn't he? We get TP getting rapey with Betsy,
Mm-hmm.
and then later apologizes.
And that's enough to
In
get.
front of everybody.
Some of you witnessed the scene tonight. And
Who the fuck wrote this dialogue?
Yeah. The dialogue is awful in this movie.
Yeah, it's bad.
If you say his name, he will kill you.
So TP gets shut down by Betsy, and then he takes it out on the kids. He just yells at
Let's
them.
go. Yeah.
I have TP and the Boys could be a music group. Because right when they're like leaving the camper, they're like, TP and the Boys. I'm like, that sounds like a
Yeah.
early
Boy
90s
band.
music group or something, yeah.
Okay, so they get back to camp, and this guy who I had to watch this twice to figure. I still don't know who is this guy that gets his throat ripped out by Madman Mars.
Oh, that is the drunk caretaker from the burn.
Let me tell
like
you
it's
this.
that
Okay.
Okay, so his name is
Dippy?
Zibby.
Zippy or Dippy.
Ziggy.
I think it's Dippy.
Zippy.
Zippy?
Regardless, okay, so Zippy. Yeah, because they're trying to pull an axe. The owner,
Sword in the
Matt,
stone thing.
yeah, is doing the sword in the stone thing with TP,
An
and they're
axe.
trying to pull this axe out of this log. It's been there, and you get $100 if
We
you
get-
can pull it out.
We get that TP is somehow competitive from this scene, that he has this, he needs to win, but it doesn't play a role in this movie at all.
Yeah, so let me find where I had these notes.
Dead air. It's good for...
No, it's
Zippy.
fine. I'll handle it.
Okay. Yeah, so they call him Zippy or Ziggy.
It's
It doesn't.
I have Dippy.
I have
Or
I
Dippy.
remember it as Dippy.
Whatever. Okay, so the next cutscene is him drunk with a bottle of Jack Daniels
Yeah,
on his chest,
like, we're joking.
and she says, "TP,
It's empty."
it's empty."
Oh, does she?
And I'm like, and I rewound it. TP, and I rewound it one more time. She says, TP, it's empty. And I'm like, how bad is that she couldn't even get the character's name right?
I just love that, haha, like, alcoholism is funny. Like, this guy is the caretaker of this camp, but he just walks around with a bottle of Jack all day, apparently.
Yeah, and I just want to get the record that when Max is telling the story, he says the last thing you see is the swinging of an axe at your head before you get decapitated by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
How often does this motherfucker use an axe? Once?
Twice.
Maybe twice.
Yeah.
He's killing with all sorts of things, not just an axe.
He just picks somebody up at one point and they die.
He was hung from a tree, so he uses that killing method on TP. Which, I thought TP went out pretty early in this movie.
He did. We're
Yeah,
not even there
surprised,
yet
yeah.
because people just go
First,
looking for
Morris
people.
has to
and
rip out Dippy's neck.
Dippy's neck and drag him back to
Zippy.
his house, where Richie is in the
Look
attic.
who it is. Is it Dippy or Ziggy?
It's Dippy.
It's Dippy.
I think it's Zippy.
I'm looking
Whatever.
right at it right now. It's Dippy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I was just gonna let you keep going with Zippy as long as you could.
Well, I watch you on YouTube. I can barely
I know,
hear
it's impossible.
it. At least when I pick a movie, I get it on Netflix and I give it to everybody to watch in the group, so they have a nice version.
I don't know that
It
there's
was-
a nicer version of Madman than what we saw.
Didn't have-
That might be true. It was
If you
terrible.
watched it on YouTube, did you get that awful glare? in
No,
the
there
middle?
was no
Well, there
glare.
you go. It's a good version.
Yeah, but I did have
It's actually been on there for almost 10 years
With
since
no-
the inception of YouTube.
The burning and high defs on there
Yep.
for free watch.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
yet
that's
they
a
can't
fantastic
put
movie.
Sleepaway Camp 2 a decent version of it. How's that possible?
That's crazy.
Because Bruce Springsteen won't let it happen.
You think that's
That
you
New
think Bruce
Jersey
has-
street trash.
So remember, I'm Bruce Springsteen, and if you're burning CDs, you ought to go to jail. 'Cause you stealing, and stealing is wrong, and I'm gonna find you. And so is the CIA and the FBI.
John, you said
Richie
that
takes a
this was
shadow in the
a
trees.
pretty simple plot, so
Very
you
simple.
just want to go quickly through the plot? Like, I mean, is this
plot
hillbilly
is-
horror?
Yeah, the plot is one person goes out to find
At
somebody,
a time, and they
gets
get
killed, and somebody goes to find them.
Somebody
and
else gets
killed.
out, they get killed. Somebody else gets out, they get killed.
And they all go to the same place over and over
It
and over.
might be the
immediately get
simplest of plots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the person that they're looking for is not dead. And he'll show up,
Every 25 minutes.
yeah, every 25 minutes. Hey, this guy's still here. Don't forget about Richie.
But
Do you think
then
it was they just
the
didn't
number
like-
of people that they're looking for rises as the movie goes
Yeah.
on. And at no point do they go, well, we've sent 3 people out. They've not come
None
back.
of them come back.
Let's not send any more
Let's-
people.
And
Let's
she
just
has
call the cops.
and Betsy has Max's phone number the whole time and doesn't call him until everyone's
The
calling.
phone absolutely works in this movie. It doesn't get
Did you think
disconnected.
maybe Max could be the killer?
No, I'm asking, like,
Maybe.
Maybe
Max-
because he disappeared.
Max, he has dinner with the counselors, and he says, I have to go into town for supplies.
To play cards.
He's going to play cards and drink. But was that clearly a Friday the 13th reference of the camp?
The guy
Or,
goes-
like, leaving, because he left in a Jeep, right? Am
Yeah.
I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just,
What was?
were we supposed to think he might be the killer?
I think so at one. Well, all those early.
I didn't because when
The
they came
killer
back,
is
Until they called him, I thought, well,
but
why
when they
not?
came back, Dippy was killed, and then
And you saw who killed him, and it's,
Yeah.
you know, a
and
guy
Max
with
was
no
with
nose.
the other
What if
people.
Max was in
Well, Max
just
was
like
with
a
everybody
hairy?
else.
I just wondered if it was just really far-fetched that we were supposed to think Max was the killer.
I don't know who could think that
Yeah.
I thought it at one point. Why not?
because they show a nasty human guy walking around in that house.
What if he was in like an outfit killing people, like a Scooby Doo
I don't.
mystery?
The reason I didn't think it was Max is because Max isn't fast enough to be running back and forth in all the places.
Is
that
this
they need to
guy?
be.
What is this guy?
He's a hillbilly. He's 100%.
He's in overalls.
Is he dead though or alive?
I think they want you to believe he's still alive because
'Cause
he
he
was
has, like,
never.
the-
They hung him, but he was the next morning he was gone.
He has like the whitest hair.
So I'm assuming he's kind of a Jason Voorhees feral living in the woods.
Yeah, he probably never bathed, so he's dirty as shit.
Those clothes would have been rotted by now. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they might have based Victor Crowley on this guy because they kind of look similar.
You don't get a really, really good look at this guy.
I'm just
though.
saying the way he
No,
was dressed
that-
and his size
Do you-
were similar to Victor Crowley.
Do you think like the makeup and stuff just wasn't good, and that's why they were just quick shots?
I think
Maybe
There's
the
trying
budget
to-
probably did. What was the budget on this thing?
Like
Did they even have it?
300,000 or something. I didn't see what it made, but it
the
was
only
like
compliment that I saw
350,000.
consistently on this movie on the internet was the lighting, which was good. The lighting was good.
for
in this.
yeah, because all this takes place at night. Love that Max leaves TP in charge when he's away from the camp.
Yeah.
And TP immediately
TP sees
uses
a
that
madman
power to
riding
go
through
get
the
laid in
woods.
the hot tub.
I know, which do you just want to talk about the hot tub scene? Like, what was your
Yeah.
first reaction? Because I'm sure it's the same
I
reaction I,
said
had the
what mine
first.
was. I was like, come on, okay, come on, come on.
I had earbuds in, watching on the computer with my girlfriend beside me, and I was like, "You're never gonna believe. Look at this scene. I'm gonna give you this earbud, and you tell me if this belongs in any horror movie or what's going on in this scene." And she's like, just her eyes got so wide, and I'm like, "Yeah, that." What? It's like a love song. It's like this 3-minute romantic.
But even if you're
love
watching like
song
a romantic
thing, but
movie from the 80s,
they don't
you'd
like
still
each
be like,
other.
come on.
Well,
It just drags.
And the shot of TP's ass was a bit too much.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I actually yelled at I yelled at the computer. I was like, "Come on, no, don't show us that. Come on, wah."
If you pause it just right, you could see
There were boobs.
Galen Ross's boobs.
Yeah.
Which you said she went by a different name,
Alex Dubin.
and you think she didn't want people to know that she got nude in this movie.
That would be my guess. Alex Dubin. Alexis Dubin.
So-
We also get Madman peeping
Yeah,
on them at this time.
he's a voyeur.
So is Madman killing these people just be trespassing? There's no moral thing to this.
Are
people.
they trespassing?
Just because that one guy said his name, I guess, right?
And they
That's
threw a
the
rock in
classic-
his window.
That's the
Yeah,
classic
Rachel.
in the mirror saying whatever
Mm-hmm.
3 times.
Well, TP is gonna go find Richie because they just now realized Richie's not around.
Yes.
And so he goes into the woods and
I have also. Well, he's
new stuff.
yeah, and I did read. I don't know how much to believe in this. That he was so dedicated to this role. He actually, to get the best effect, he actually said, "Hang me."
I would have been like, "Look, I know you're a dedicated actor, but this is fucking Madman."
Yeah,
we're not
what do you
hanging
think's
you.
gonna be the end result here of this
I don't know.
cheesy 80s movie?
We also get a random Stacy. This is also from taken.
Is this where she's playing a flute in a canoe?
No, random Stacy walking alone in the woods, and she tries to make it up that hill, and Madman almost grabs her leg, but
And then
Yeah,
gives
no,
up.
that's
that's total burning, right?
She is playing a flute in a canoe before she
Yep.
goes and gets up.
Still remember
And
that
the
shot.
incline of this hill is like 2 feet.
Yeah, it's not.
How did
exactly
she
difficult
not-
to get up?
Get up there before that hairy hand tries to get her.
I don't know. And why does he give up so easy? He's like,
She
She's
can
like, "I'll
hear
get you
the,
later."
she's got to be able to hear the moaning behind her, right? This
Right?
guy,
Yeah.
This is total. What's his face from Maniac?
the sounds.
Just the sounds that the killer makes.
Bill has a mustache.
Oh,
Sweet
yeah.
mustache.
4 people in a cabin.
Oh,
I
this
love the
scene
shot
is.
of the
This is really weird.
all their
Dave.
heads in a line.
They all
that-
talk-
Oh yeah.
They're talking about what's real and what's not real, and then Dave gets up and plays with that knife.
Yeah, and he's like,
There's more than one scene where we get
This is
too
so
philosophical.
This is
weird.
yeah, this is not good dialogue for an 80s slasher
No,
movie.
this is just like a Carl Sagan video or something.
We have Bill and Ellie leaving to go bone in a tent.
Oh yeah, and Ellie's voice, man.
TP has a furry bomber
Something.
jacket.
It does.
It's fucking tight.
And some tight khaki pants.
I just saw a bomber jacket on that weird website where that corn shirt I sent you.
Yeah.
There's like a bomber jacket that's like $1,200.
Oh.
I'm like, what?
Originals. Supposed to be the warmest thing.
I showed you that banana raincoat I found that was like $32,000. It's like, who the fuck would buy that?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, this movie, TP's dead, so now they're gonna send somebody to find TP.
Mm-hmm.
So who do they
How
send?
did TP die?
So they
He
send
was hung,
Yeah, he gets
and then
noose.
his neck snapped.
We don't see that too often in slashers where a noose comes down and TP just walked right into it.
And then there's this weird thing where like Madman Mars backs up and looks at him for a while and then just walks away. And I don't know what that shot's about.
I have that at one point someone's in after his neck he gets hung, TP gets hung, they go cut to the people in the cabin, and someone says Betsy's a warrior. And I want to have that a friends call her Whiskers. Can you plug
Harry
Carey? At least a little bit of it.
Right.
That was because you were
I like how
curious like a cat.
TP eventually is able to grab the branch and pull himself up, but then Madman grabs his belt buckle and just
Snaps him down.
snaps his neck.
That was the best belt buckle we've ever seen.
They send Dave to look for TP, I have.
Yeah. And Dave goes to the exact same place.
I have Dave looks like the guy from Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah, both guys. There's a lot of times when you see a person in a movie and you're kind of like, man, I hope this guy somehow puts up a fight or something.
They don't.
This guy, I was hoping would maybe go back, but no, he dies. Gets his head cut off screen.
He pulls out a knife. He sees TP hanging.
Mm-hmm.
But
TP's body falls down.
this is Madman had already pulled the axe out with one hand out of this log. The two
Sword and
people.
Stone reference.
Yeah, the two people couldn't pull out together. That sounded pervy, didn't it?
No.
That's a hell of a feat if you can pull that off.
Oh, this is the first Madman axe kill. He kills Dave with the axe.
But it's off screen,
It's off screen.
which is weak sauce.
It is.
Weak sauce.
Plug that. I'm sure there's something.
Weak sauce.
Okay, so now another person's dead.
And they
Dave's
send
dead.
somebody else
It's
out.
after
So I have to go-
Alan beats that guy at Frogger. That one kid
Oh,
who challenges
yeah.
him at Frogger, I think, in the gaming room.
And then I think they send Stacy, right?
Stacy goes after
She
Dave.
goes on her own. And
Well, there's also a truck that won't start in this movie.
Mad Mars is growling again.
And he pops the hood.
she goes out to look at the engine because the car won't start, and he's on top of the car and just jumps down on the hood and chops
Bust
her
her
head off.
head.
Would
right
the
off.
head pop off like that
No.
with the hood?
No.
Not unless it
Heads
had
are
a blade on it.
Yeah.
Hoods are heavy, but I just don't think it would happen. And then
It might snap her neck,
Probably
but I don't
kill
think
her,
it
but
could
I don't think her head would
decapitate
come
her.
off.
we also get a lot of random shots of Madman at the edge of the woods and
Yeah,
you see him
it's
with
like,
a flashlight.
and there's
but
like this stinging synth music
Yeah.
when he shows up, and it looks like the people can hear it, and then they look over in the shadows and see his feet walking away. It's really funny because like every time it plays, they like look
Yeah,
in
the only
shadows.
thing they hear is the synth. They don't hear anything else. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just this. For the next 20 minutes, you just get random. Send somebody else out to look for the missing people.
Those two people who are having sex, Betty goes and no. First, what's her name?
Stacy.
Stacy found them before she died and interrupted them.
She usually doesn't break in like this, but
But
TP's
that's
missing, and Richie's missing, and Dave's missing. And
I've been like, hey, did anyone call Max? You can get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to have sex.
so she tells him basically like, I'm not saying hurry up, but hurry up and get back to the
We could have seen
office.
this girl's boobs, but we didn't.
Probably, but man.
She looked a little retarded.
Yeah, that's what I always felt bad for her.
She was
Yeah,
talking
there
about
was more than one person that seemed a little slow in this movie. So Ellie and Dave were the ones having sex in the tent, and they both go off to find
Bill is Ellie and Bill. Yeah.
Oh, Ellie and Bill,
Uh-huh.
and they find Dave's head in the truck, right?
Nope.
Stacy's head.
Okay, this is the scene of events here.
So
They
weird.
try to start the car,
Mhm.
Bill and Ellie,
Yeah.
and it won't start. So Bill goes out and he pops the hood. He's like, Stacy's head's in there.
And somehow blocking something
It's
to start.
blocking something starting. So Bill then
Pulls the throws that.
he doesn't even know. He doesn't get the head out. He goes back to the driver's side while Ellie runs out, and then she sees the head and she's like, oh my god! Then they get back in the truck.
And it starts.
Bill runs and shuts the hood, and it starts. He didn't remove the head at all.
Are you sure?
I'm
Yes.
almost
Yes.
100%
Okay.
positive, because I was like,
I
he
thought
didn't
he
do
just-
anything to the head.
I'm pretty sure he picked the head up and threw it out.
No,
Go back
because
and look. I know you won't, but go back and look.
Ellie ran out and saw it also, unless it was after
They both saw it. They
they
both, knew it
both
was
saw
in
it,
there.
maybe.
Maybe Ellie got it out. I don't know. I don't remember them getting it out.
I don't either, but then the car did
Yeah.
start. Because I have horror trope 82ZA.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's car not
And you-
starting with the
so-
head underneath it. The hood.
That's it. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's
So
right.
who's the guy in the truck with Ellie?
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
So Bill gets the truck started. They start driving away, and Madman pulls Bill out, right?
yeah.
Of the truck.
Pulls him
And
right out.
Ellie jumps out of
It
a
runs into the tree.
5 to 10 mile an hour moving truck onto a crash mat. Did you see?
Yeah, I did. It was ridiculous
Oh, yeah.
looking her spilling out of the passenger side of that car.
It was funny.
But she looks back and finds Madman Mars holding Bill in the air.
And you hear some cracking, like
I
it's-
guess.
You
Something's
actually don't
back.
see cracking.
No,
No.
you don't see anything.
What I gathered was that he held him in the air until he died. So.
63 minutes in, we cut back to Richie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still in this movie, and he finds
He
something.
sees a body being drugged,
Yeah.
and then he goes into
We
the
get
house.
Richie searching Madman's abandoned house, but really he's not finding any clues to
No.
tell us who Madman is or what makes him tick.
No, everything he does see, they just show his reaction to.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this movie. They don't really try to give an explanation
No.
or anything.
It's just
Just Madman Mars.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Sure.
Ellie gets
Ellie-
back to camp.
Camp.
here.
She's hysterical.
Mhm. Hides in a refrigerator because
That's-
Mars starts
Is
chasing.
this the
That's
wor-
hilarious.
Is this the worst hiding spot ever?
When he clearly is right around the corner and could hear her
Where
going
could
into
you
the
have
refrigerator.
went that this guy couldn't see where you went?
If he opens the fridge, you can't get away. You're not giving yourself an out.
Hiding in the fridge, you can't get away.
Technically, it worked.
Well, it did work. But
Because, yeah, he disappears.
he
so
just
he's
waits
an
for her to
idiot.
come out.
Yeah, and she quickly dies after coming out of the refrigerator.
Well, she
but-
comes out and gets hit with an axe, and
Yeah.
it looks like it hit her right in the chest. You'd think she'd be done.
It did. So you
It
don't.
hit her in the
She may
chest.
not be dead. And I'm going to tell you something later.
Oh God, what?
Galen Ross shoots
Yeah, that happens later.
with a shotgun and blows her head off. She might have still been alive.
Yeah, I
we
don't know how.
that.
How did she survive that?
She just got hit in the chest with an axe.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Maybe it
Blunt
broke her
force
clavicle.
trauma to the
Maybe
chest,
it broke
but-
her clavicle when she was bleeding a lot. But she still could have been dead when Galen Ross blew her head off.
Could have been alive.
Could have been alive or dead.
Yeah.
She could have been dead alive.
Who knows?
So Betsy finds blood, right? And she calls Max, tells him to get back
says,
to camp.
Get back here, yeah.
We find Max at a poker game.
He is a poker.
Drinking
He's
with
a
his
card
buddies.
shark, I
Yeah.
heard.
hmm
She grabs a shotgun.
She
Gets
sees-
the kids on a bus.
Yep, she sees movement in the window.
She looks like a blonde Shelley Duvall I have.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Like at this point,
That
like
is it.
she's
She's gotten to look
protecting
real
the
bad.
kids. It looks like she's holding the shotgun like she doesn't know how.
Well, she sees movement in the window and fires, and it's Ellie, which doesn't make any sense.
We
But
have
she
to-
blew her head off.
Ellie could have been alive here. We don't
Yeah.
know, but her head gets fucking exploded. This
We
was
have-
one of the better effects in the movie. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Like when you said
Most of
watch
the stuff's
this, I was
off-screen.
hoping for something more. But there were some there were definitely memorable scenes of this movie that I'll never forget.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, not in a good way, but it's
Well,
there.
Betsy gets the kids on the school bus, and the bus won't start. What is wrong with every vehicle at this camp?
How'd they even get there if they are so unreliable?
No idea. Have you ever seen the movie Fortress?
No.
It takes place in like the Outback or New Zealand or something, I think, and these people take over this school of kids and this teacher, and they like hijack them and they're taking them hostage through like this cave and shit, and then at the end of the movie they set up and have to try to kill these people.
Sounds like that Australian Outback
It's
slasher.
called Fortress. After this, look
Wolf
it up
Creek.
real quick after we're done with
Is
this
it good?
movie. But it's I remember it being good when I was younger, but
That's
again,
weak.
it could be a movie of time and it might be
It's left-handed.
terrible anymore. Anyways, back to this movie.
Yeah. Ellie sends the kids away. Where? Just away.
Betsy.
Betsy, that's Ellie's dad.
Ellie is dead.
With a shotgun blast to the head.
Betsy just decides she's gonna
Go after Madman?
go after. Yeah. So she has the oldest kid drive the bus, which
Oh,
I'm
that's-
sure doesn't end well. But we don't know.
What if it
We
was
don't
Freddy
see what
Krueger?
happens to the kids after they leave.
Wasn't Freddy Krueger driving kids?
At one point. But
He's
she
riding
tells,
a broom at one point.
she tells the
Oh my
oldest kid to
god,
take
what a
it straight to
terrible
the-
series. They're remaking that too.
Why bother? There's no reason for it.
I guess we can get into that later, huh?
Mm.
We do like a why the fuck remake episode.
Ooh, we should do that. Look up a list of.
We can do that.
We could do
Remakes.
that for 10 minutes and
Yeah,
just,
we
just
spoof
talk
it out
shit.
there.
We have a bunch of shit.
It's our new
Okay.
season premiere. We can have all sorts of shit going on.
So, Madman attacks Betsy, knocks the gun away, and drags her to the basement.
I thought she was gonna get raped.
I didn't know what was it because he was like taking so long to get down. I'm like, is he
He
not
could
gonna
use his
kill her?
fingers. He had real big hands, probably.
Wait, I have here that he was making sex sounds the whole way. He's dragging her just.
But then he took a look at that face and he said, not even me.
He said, "Nuh-uh, I'm not going there."
It looks too much like Shelley Duvall for
Yeah,
me.
so instead he puts her on this hook.
Which looked good. I
Yeah.
like this. Put her right on a fucking meat hook like Texas Chainsaw
yeah.
Massacre.
And
Remake.
she stabs him. She did have that knife on throughout the whole
The
movie
whole
on her
movie,
belt.
yep.
And then sets the place on fire, huh?
Yeah.
He knocks over a candle. Why was there a candle lit?
They all have candles
Yeah.
in the basement.
There's no electricity in the house.
Yeah,
He's got a
Kind of
sea.
hay
I'm
though.
not sure what he's doing with hay.
Wasn't it the
either.
barn?
Must have been.
Well, what's his face have gas cans near his bed in the burning for?
Because he was the caretaker.
Dippy. What was his name?
Cropsy.
No. Oh yeah.
You were talking about Dippy earlier.
Yeah.
His name was Ziggy.
So
Was
we
it
get
Diggy?
Dippy.
Dippy.
Zippy and Dippy.
So
My favorite kind of eggs are Dippy.
after the. Is he doing yoga on the stairs?
Yeah, he's doing
He does some weird
Lotus.
shit. You just kind of gotta ignore it.
So after she stabs Madman and the house is burning down, Max is on his way back to the camp and Richie runs out on the road in front of him. Max stops, gets out of the car and says, "Richie, what's wrong?" And Richie can't speak. He's that in
He
shock.
just says Mars is real or Madman Mars is real.
And then it
then-
ends.
a song.
This music and these like flashes in his head start going on, and it is.
What a dull ending. Just
So
a
Richie
dull,
was on screen for 4 minutes,
flat, flaccid.
but he
fart.
only showed up once every 31 minutes in the movie,
Yeah, and that's it.
and that's it.
No more Madman Mars. He got out of that house. I'm positive.
Yeah.
So
Why haven't we had a remake of this movie?
There might be next
I-
year. We don't know. A reboot
That's
of the Madman.
right. Oh, there might be.
John.
John, what did you give this movie?
I didn't write it down.
Why don't you give it something?
I'll give it a 4.
4?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. And I wouldn't recommend watching this except for the hot tub scene and then never watching it again.
Not even the opening singing. by
Yeah, there's
Keith?
some good songs that are
There's
just
some,
out
like-
of place. Even the end song is like, what the fuck is this?
I'm not real sure who would find this. When I read the reviews, I just can't understand.
He has a cult following.
It does. I read like
And I
8 good
think-
reviews and one was like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
I think
And I think I'm on that.
that people are just trying to be like, I want to be a part of something when it comes to this movie. Because it's not worth having a cult over. It's just a very simple, straightforward story.
It's not.
And the synth is just kind of somebody slamming on a synth.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'll give it a, what I say, 4? Yeah, it worked, 4.
Cobra, what do you give this movie?
I'm gonna give it just a notch above that, a 4.5.
Because you got to see Galen Ross.
Because Galen Ross's boobs when I
That half
paused.
second.
Like, I was texting him and I was like, I didn't get to see him. I didn't see him. And he's like, they're
It's,
there.
it's quick.
So I had to go back and I had to like pause it. It took me 4 tries to get him. And I was like, this movie's gonna get a worse score if I don't get these. So I paused it just right to get him. It's not good. It's not great. There is a couple good scenes. Like the hot tub scene's hilarious.
It's stunning.
Her getting put on a meat hook is a really, I liked it. It was a good effect. The singing at the beginning, the campfire, the end song is even goofy. But it literally is just luring one guy out into the woods, knocking him off. Some of them off screen, which was not good because there were only like 4 or 5 kills in the movie. And it was a little boring. But, you know, it's an early slasher. So I'm going to give it a 4.5. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have nothing else to watch. You know, you might watch it once, but never again. It's right on that border. It could be a 5 maybe, but 4.5 maybe, but probably not.
Ben!
Well, I'm one of those people. I've watched it more than once.
You're a weirdo.
I didn't say it was like the greatest thing you've ever seen or anything.
No, that's what you said.
I remember you said that.
You're like,
exact
this is the
thing.
greatest movie ever.
No, I did not. I love, like you said, the weirdness of that opening scene because I do like the campfire storytelling scenes in these types of movies, but to have TP just creeping around the campfire singing, it's so bizarre. Don't plug that. So bizarre.
Oh, it's on now.
How bizarre.
I thought the characters were pretty
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
The characters are stupid, but nobody was a total dick. I mean, TP got a little rapey for half a scene, but
They even say like he's a very possessive male, and I don't know why, but I wrote MAIL in my notes.
like I said, I thought the characters were fun enough. It's that classic 80s. I'm not sure what age they were going for, but none of these actors and actresses were over or under 35 when they made this movie. I thought the camp setting looked real enough. I mean, it did look like a real camp. John, you commented.
There was actually, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, because
No.
I'm interrupting you. There's one good track shot where Galen Ross is walking by the cabins, and
She sees him.
he's
like,
on
go
the
around.
other side
Yeah.
of it, yeah, and it's following like his view, but it also shows him because it's kind of
Yeah.
behind him, and it's tracking past the cabins, and it goes from dark to being seen. That was a really good shot, actually, for this terrible movie.
You had commented, John, about the lighting was
Mhm.
decent in this movie because I mean the whole movie pretty much it does, it all takes place at night. I like the hillbilly look of the killer. It's really no different than Friday Part 2. Jason was a hillbilly slasher. I didn't really care for the dubbing that they did with the killer, the sounds that he made, the grunts.
Some of the dubbing in other places was bad too.
Yeah.
Whenever the girl was running to the Jeep and she was trying to get the door open, she was making like these grunting sounds, but you could see she was just trying to you could tell they put it over post.
There's a scene where Betsy and Stacy, I think, are talking about TV right after the rapey scene, and I said it was their accents, but I don't know if it was just really bad dub, and it just didn't
I don't think they did a
match
whole lot
up
in
with their
post,
mouth
yeah.
movements. But the kills, I like the kills. The meat hook scene was a good kill. I'm a sucker for cheesy orange blood, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of that in this movie. And I did think the ending was pretty weak. I did like that there was no survivor girl. Like, I mean, it was kind of bleak. He just killed them all. Richie, I guess, is the only one who made it
Yeah,
out.
Richie made it.
But
Max,
they-
yeah.
His agent must have demanded he gets another 3 minutes of screen time, or 30 seconds of screen time. But so-
Richie was the one that yelled out Mars
Matt,
name,
yeah,
right?
and he's the one that survived. So maybe there was a survivor girl.
I guess. Yeah.
Also, Galen Ross didn't survive, and that was cool, too.
That's
what we just
I
said.
just said.
Damn it.
It was a
I wish there
bleaker. There's no survivor girl.
Was that only 40 minutes long?
Yeah, that's it. This is gonna be an easy one.
Wow,
Yeah.
I feel like we need to talk just a little more about it.
Do you want to?
No.
No.
So, did I say I gave it 6 out of 10?
Did you? I wasn't here when you gave your rating. I was peeing.
It's fun. It's not the greatest thing, but
Wait, what'd you give Happy Birthday to Me?
I can't remember. I did not like Happy
Did
Birthday
you-
to Me.
Oh.
I probably gave it like a 5.
I think this was a little better than Happy Birthday.
I think
Or
it was.
this was no. This was worse
Yeah.
than Happy Birthday to Me. Not by
Yeah.
a whole lot. They didn't
Not
at least
by a
throw
whole
you
lot.
for a huge plot twist in this one. That was
Best
just
part of that movie.
ludicrous. It is. It's so ridiculous.
So, I'm sorry. I had to have you guys watch the hot tub scene. And
Oh no, it was definitely worth that.
Okay, if you want to get a hold of
I can
us,
put that notch on my belt. Most
John sounds
ridiculous hot
defeat-
tub scene in
John-
a horror movie.
John sounds defeated right now. He's like, oh my
I'm
god.
just kind of tired.
Looks
of
like
it.
he had a late night. He's
It
all
is dead,
yawning and.
It's dead. Okay. If you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/.
It's like he wants us to do all the
horrorcasting.
work now.
Horrorcastings@gmail.com. What are you talking about? We're on Twitter @horrorcasting,
You know where else we are?
iTunes,
All those places.
all of them, and that one that Tim brought up one time,
Email the show too.
or Ben brought up. Maybe one of them brought it up.
Podcast Republic.
That's where, yeah.
Yeah,
We don't know what that is.
that's where I have you downloaded on Podcast Republic with my tablet. So
You need to do it on iTunes, and you need to rate and review the show.
I have it on my phone.
Oh, I could probably
that
do
too.
that. I don't think
Oh,
I've
I'm
ever
sorry, I
done
wasn't talking to you, Ben. I was talking to everybody at home.
Oh. If you want me to rate the show, I will.
Alright, we'll return next week with Scarecrows, specifically the one from 1988, because there's a lot of Scarecrow movies, so that one.
it. You're a scarecrow.
Good one. Another sick burn by Cobra.
Through me. Fuck you both. Through